So the topic today I'm gonna take is the intermuscular spaces. Intermuscular space is one of the most important questions that can be asked for short answers in the upper limb. So let's see. Intermuscular space occur between the scapula and the humerus. So it is bound by three muscles. The three muscles are teres minor, teres major, and long head of triceps brachii. You can see teres minor, teres major, long head of triceps brachii. So there is a quadrangular space here. This quadrangular space is known as the quadrangular intermuscular space. Now this triangular space is called the upper triangular space, and this one is called the lower triangular space. Okay, so the three intermuscular spaces are clear. Now let's see the boundaries. So this is the quadrangular space. The boundaries of the quadrangular space can be denoted just by this diagram. So it has four relations: superior, inferior, medial, and lateral. The superior relation is formed by the lower border of teres minor. The inferior relation is formed by the superior border of teres major. The medial relation is formed by the lateral border of long head of triceps brachii, and the lateral head is formed by the surgical neck of humerus. So the boundaries of the quadrangular space is clear. So now let's see it. Superiorly it is formed by the inferior border of teres minor, inferiorly superior border of teres major, medially the lateral border of long head of triceps brachii, and laterally the surgical neck of humerus. Now the upper triangular space. In the upper triangular space there are three relations, that is superior relation, inferior relation, and lateral relation. So the superior relation is formed by the lower border of teres minor, and the inferior relation is formed by the upper border of teres major. The lateral relation is formed by the medial end of long head of triceps brachii. Okay, so now let's see the lowest one, that is the lower triangular space. The lower triangular space again has three borders. So it has an upper relation, it has a superior relation, it has a medial relation, it has a lateral relation. The upper relation is formed by the inferior border of teres major. The medial boundary is formed by the lateral border of long head of triceps brachii, and the lateral relation is formed by the shaft of humerus. Now let's see the contents of the intermuscular spaces. So first let's see the contents of the quadrangular space. So we can say the quadrangular space is just between the scapula and the humerus. So what happens between the scapula and humerus? It is the axilla. So what nerve will be there? There is axillary nerve. So it is easy to remember, axillary nerve in the quadrangular space. Now this artery and the vein winds around the surgical neck of humerus. So it is circumflex humeral artery and vein, and it is in posterior direction. So the artery and the veins are posterior circumflex humeral artery and posterior circumflex humeral vein. So the three contents are axillary nerve, posterior circumflex humeral artery, and posterior circumflex humeral vein. Now let's see the lower triangular space. Lower triangular space, again the arrangement of artery, vein, and nerve is NAV, that is nerve, artery, and vein. In the quadrangular space too, the arrangement was NAV. In the lower triangular space, again the contents are the radial nerve, the profunda brachii artery, and the profunda brachii vein. So we have to remember. Now in the upper triangular space, it doesn't contain any nerve. So there are only two vessels, that is an artery and a vein. So this winds around the scapula to take part in the anastomosis around the scapula. So these are called the circumflex artery and vessels. So it is the circumflex scapular artery and vein. So the contents of the intermuscular spaces are: in the upper quadrangular space, the contents are axillary nerve because it is in axilla, then posterior circumflex humeral artery and posterior circumflex humeral vein because it winds around the humerus. Then in the lower triangular space, the contents are NAV, that is radial nerve, profunda brachii artery and profunda brachii vein. Now in the upper triangular space, the contents are circumflex scapular artery and vein because it winds around the scapula. So these are the contents and the boundaries of intermuscular spaces. I hope you can see the contents and the boundaries of the intermuscular spaces like this. If you want, please take a screenshot of it. So that's all for the intermuscular spaces. Thank you.